What's up, everybody? This is Phil from Walmart, Right Lane Trucking. I know you can't see me, but I can see you. No, just playing. Hey, I was experimenting today and put my dash cam up and was filming my part of my drive anyway, not all of it. This is the better part of the drive, let me put it that way. So I figured I'd give you guys an idea of what we as truckers see when we're driving down the road, and then also for those that are truckers, you've seen this before, but this is nice back road, 2 lanes, one in each direction, and it's just some beautiful country up here in Northern California. So as I left you yesterday, I was in Turlock. So I woke up, got going at 8:15. I started my day, and so I started my day 8:15 and got going to McCarran. I calculated about 5 hours of drive time from where I was to get to McCarran, half an hour meal, hour to drop the trailer, fuel, get my dispatch, stuff like that, and get going. So on the way there, I was dispatched with a load, another remix load, going to Yreka. Not Eureka, but Yreka. Yreka, for those that are not from California or not familiar with California, is up on the very north part of California, just before you go across the border to Oregon. And I've been up here before, obviously when I went to Oregon, and then another time when I went to Medford, but back in 1994, yep, I dated it, 1994, I had made the decision to move to Oregon, and I was driving from California all the way to Oregon, from SoCal to Oregon. And I don't know what time I left during the day, but I know I got to Yreka late at night, and I was tired and decided to take a nap. Now, I could have swore this was July, something like that, June, July, but it couldn't have been, because it got really, really cold. It had to have been June, July, though, because that's when I moved up there. But it got really cold that night, and I was parked at a gas station here in Yreka, and would turn on the engine, let the heater come on, and then warm up the little car I had. It was a Honda CRX, and then I'd shut off the engine, and then go to sleep for a little while, and then get back, wake up, do it again, wake up, do it again. So I didn't get really good sleep, but I did get some sleep. But it was really cold. Anyway, so off I went to the way I took is the suggested route, and I could have gone a different way. I could have gone I-80 all the way to I-5 and took I-5 all the way up, but this is the shorter version. And what you do is you go I-80 west to exit 15, and then from exit 15 you take 395 going north and towards Susanville. Once you get through Susanville, you're starting your climb into the mountains, and you turn right. I think it was on 89. No, I don't. I have to go back and look now. You make the right turn, and then you stay on that, and you continue on. Now, there's one part before you turn where I started the video, and that's 89. And you're coming down the hill, and it starts the 6% downgrade, and you're coming down, and you're narrow roads, and the sheer cliff is right there with no guardrails, and you really got to control your speed. It can be very treacherous if you're taking it too fast. So you really got to make sure you're watching your speed, especially your downhill speed, when you're going down hills. So I sped this video up, so I'm not going that fast. Obviously, that car is not going that fast. But it's just a beautiful road, and it was very smooth. As you can see, I'm getting passed on this road. You just got to be careful with that, because people will take chances, and if there's cars coming from the opposite direction, you have to make a decision whether you're going to continue or not, right? So I'm going here, and I'm coming up on a bridge. Now this bridge, there's some signs there that you can't see going so fast, but there's a height as well of 15 feet 1 inch. Now, as truckers, we've got to make sure we know how tall we are, and then we've got to pay attention to, here's the bridge coming up right now, how high those clearances are. You saw that yellow sign above, and there was a sign before that telling you how high it is. You got to know how high you are and how high that is. Most trailers are 13 feet 6 inches. I said most, not all. So some are shorter, some are taller, and it just depends. So you've got to know the distance. And as I'm going, and I'm going uphill here, you should see there's a truck that just passed going the opposite direction. Look to the right there. There's about 8 inches of shoulder, and I'm filling up the whole lane. He's filling up the whole lane. So you got to really be careful and pay attention to your vehicle and their vehicles as you guys pass each other opposite directions like that. So as I was going here, I did have kind of one of those things that, you see the sun is going down, right? And one of the things that any driver that's driving through these kind of conditions fears is wildlife coming out in front of them. And I had gone and I passed one, and Bambi was looking at me and I was looking at Bambi, and then I came across these. So these, you can see off to the right, there's one off to the way right, and then just right by the road, you'll see their heads pop up. See their heads pop up? 2 more right there. So that's a total of 4 that I saw just right by the road. And then as I continued on, I saw 2 more. So I saw a total of 6 live deer, and unfortunately I saw one that looked like it had been struck. It was on the left-hand side or the opposite direction. So it looked like it was old. I don't know how old, but they're usually pretty good about coming by and removing the carcasses off the road. But you got to be careful at this time of the evening. It can be very treacherous. You've got the road itself, you've got other people, you got the sun going down, you got sun glaring in your eyes, you got animals that are wanting to get food, and for some reason the food is better by the road. So you just got to be very, very diligent when you're driving through these kind of conditions. It makes it look like I'm going really fast, but I am not. Um, but it's some beautiful country, just beautiful, beautiful country, as you can see. And it's a lot of ups, downs, going through mountains. And this way was actually better than taking the 295 through Boerne and towards Redding. When I say better, it's only better because um, the turns aren't as sharp. The turns on 295 they're a lot sharper, and you're closer to cliffs and or the mountain face or the wall. Here it was pretty open. I wouldn't say it was too bad, and the road for the most part was pretty smooth. It wasn't too bouncy and bumpy, so it actually turned out really well taking this direction, and it puts you further up past Redding, and you're coming out and you're only a few miles away from Weed, California, and then you go past Weed and then continue on to Wairika. But it was a very pleasant drive. I mean, I had to stop for my second meal along the way, and that's where I started filming. That's when I installed the dash cam and started filming it. But wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I almost took the other direction. I almost took 80 to I-5, only because of the familiar can't even say it, how familiar it is. But I didn't want to deal with all the traffic. And that's the good thing about this time of day that I was driving, and the fact that it's 2 lanes, one in each direction. You don't have to deal with a whole lot of traffic. There's some passing lanes for the other vehicles to pass. They could pass when it's safe to do so. But in reality, I really didn't have too many people behind me. Now, when you're driving through this, you can see there's nothing to really look at in your mirror on the right as you're going. But you still got to do a mirror check here and there, making sure that you're staying on the pavement, especially around some curves. And then the other part is to make sure that somebody's not doing something really stupid, like trying to pass you on the shoulder. There's some shoulders that are a little wider than others, and people do some stupid stuff. So you've got to check your mirrors. You got to check the right mirror or the left mirror, the driver's side mirror as well, because of what I just said. People passing you, they're going to pass you on your driver's side if they're really smart. But you got to be alert to know that they're passing you, and that you're good to go. So here's, I got off of 89, and now I'm on I-5 and heading towards Wairika. And as you can see, I'm going uphill. When I entered onto the highway, that truck in front of me, he let me in and then went over and passed me because I was still gaining speed to get up to highway speed. And then I ended up passing him because he was a little heavier than I was, and mine had more power to pull up the hill. So now we're coming down the road here, and we're getting closer to my exit, and you'll see a car carrier that's going to come up along my driver's side, and he's gonna pass me, and actually slow down to let him pass, because we're starting to go downhill, and he starts going really, really fast. Kind of, you can see him all over the road there. So I wanted to get away from him. And you saw that on the right, and I know it was fast, but there was a highway patrol sitting right there on the right hand side as well. So he didn't budge. The highway patrol let him just go. I don't know what his speed was, but he passed me at a high rate. So getting in Wairika, there's not much. It's not too difficult. You come in, get off the highway at this exit here. You're going to come down. You're going to see me stop here, allow a vehicle to come from my right side, and then go ahead and proceed to make my left turn. Go underneath, and that same vehicle is there at the light. I'm coming up. You can see I'm giving him plenty of room, and then the light changes. So then we continue on, and I make my left turn onto the main drag here, and Walmart, our store, is just coming up on the left there. You can see the blue sign, and it was pretty easy to get here. And then I was waiting for this car here, flashing him, letting him know, go ahead, I want you to go ahead and go. I stopped actually to allow him to go, and then he ended up turning right. I thought he was going to go across. As I come in here, I see, there's a Walmart driver there. There's another Walmart driver there, and they're overnighting already right here. And then in the back, this car, I saw him coming, so I want to make sure wherever he was going to go, he was out of my way and I was out of his. And you see the dock right there. There's 4 docks here, and there was 2 trailers already on. Those are the GM trailers, and then the other 2 open docks are the grocery docks, and I'm pulling a grocery load. So I'm going to go to one of those docks. Now what I'm trying to do here is I grabbed my radio, and I'm trying to call the store to let them know I'm here, and really ask them what dock they wanted me on, and do they have an empty for me so that I can hook and book, basically, or hook and overnight, because I'm overnighting here in Wairika. Didn't get a hold of anybody on the radio. I don't know the channel. It said it was channel 6. I went to 6. I went to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I got no answer, so I just proceeded to back to one of the grocery docks, and then went inside and told them, hey, I got 22 pallets for you. Do you have an empty here? And that way I can just leave this one and grab the empty. And so they had some stuff in that one because they just finished unloading the GM trailer, so they had the roller